Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. Sounds pretty good when I put it like that. Anyway, first announcement. So, I don't really have a whole lot of announcements. I'm in. You probably noticed that I've gotten finally updated the art on my channel. Thank you to my good friend Frajan, who did the art for me. Of course, I commissioned her. I paid her. All is well on that. I wasn't like trying to scam one of my friends and giving me art. Don't worry about it. But anyway, apart from that, moving pretty nicely through the foundation. I'm kind of excited because Control is just a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying the heck out of that. Sorry again about the lines on the camera. I need a new webcam. I've been looking at some new ones, and they look like there's some good ones out there that I want to get. And to be honest, anything would be an improvement over what I've got. So, it's a bit old. I remember when I first got this webcam. But anyway, that's not what's important. What's important is that's all for announcements. Moving on, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the future of the channel and planning a lot of cool things, looking into a few things, and that's kind of nice. But let's talk about Monday and today. Technically, I'm taking mostly today off. I'm just going to be doing this video, and that's going to be it. And I'm also going to be taking Monday off on account of the fact that I have an appointment, a doctor's appointment. I've been kind of leery about talking about this on the channel for a number of reasons, specifically the big one being people accusing me of lying or something. But additionally, if it turns out to be nothing, then I made a bunch of people worry for nothing. And honestly, I don't want to do that. But to be honest, I've been having a problem, a serious problem, like life-interrupting type of problem for the past, well, since beginning of the year, really. Way back at, say, maybe in March, maybe even earlier than that, of my memory not working right. And for a person who has his entire life had a very phenomenal memory, like to the not quite photographic and or eidetic, but yeah, still really, really good. That's a problem for me. And of course, naturally, that isn't the only symptom, but it was the most noticeable at first. And it was like things that were I was losing track of things, the normal things. People like, I walk into a room, I forget why I'm there, but I'd go to the grocery store and forget why I was there. I'd go for a drive, forget where I'm going. Even worse than that, I'd sit at the wheel of my car, and it's happened a few times now. I'd sit at the wheel of my car and completely forget how to drive. I couldn't start up the car. I didn't know what I was doing. Things like that. Losing words. I would forget. I still do. I forget what words are, what specific words. Like, for example, hasn't really happened, but deodorant. I would not remember what this was called. Stuff like that. And being bipolar, I've throughout my entire life been very. I've always found it important to monitor my brain, make sure everything's functioning properly, because of the fact that it also led to my OCD problems. But bipolar is kind of dangerous if it gets out of control, And while I was on medications, worked, didn't work, whatever. But then I went off medications because a lot of problems arose from it, and I didn't like feeling like a dartboard, and I figured if I can manage it on my own, then I was going to. But of course, there was also more reasons why I went off it. Specifically, I had a serious withdrawal from it when I was in the Navy, and I had like rebound problems, and I had shakes, and everything went wrong, and so I went off medications because of that. And I just never went back on them because, well, medications sometimes it feels like medications are worse than the cure. Of course, I am no way advocating that people on medications stop taking their medications. In fact, stay on your medications, and in a lot of cases they do help, and in some and I feel like in some cases they help me too. So don't think I'm advocating for you to go off your medications. It was a decision I made after I had to go off them. I just chose not to go back on them. But anyway, apart from that, so that and stuff that happened when I was a child before I went on medication have led me to be very strict and very monitory of my brain and things going wrong with it. And so I noticed quickly the problems with losing memory, losing names, losing words, losing time, losing everything. And that was a problem, obviously. So about 6 months ago, I went to the doctor. Well, I called the doctor. And the VA moves like molasses in December, i.e. very, very slowly, but it's free, so I do what I can with it. So there's been a number of things that we've ruled out, a few things that were more like leaning towards like maybe the problem, and the one thing that I keep insisting that it is it's just I'm under a lot of stress. But there's a lot of, like, first of all, when I first noticed it was happening, I was like, okay, I'm way too young for even early onset Alzheimer's. And then I Googled the age range for early onset Alzheimer's, and I was like, never mind, I'm right at the age bracket. God dang it. That being said, I also strongly recommend against Googling your symptoms. Talk to a doctor. But I didn't Google my symptoms. I Googled my age. I Googled the age range. And then after that, I looked at the symptoms of early onset Alzheimer's, and I started ticking the boxes, and not everything fit. So I'm like, okay, good. But then I talked to my doctor. Both doctors, actually, the medical doctor and the psychology doctor. Medical doctor ran a battery of tests on my blood, made sure that it wasn't a cholesterol issue. My LDL is a little high, but apart from that, I'm pretty healthy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm fat and I need to lose weight, but for the most part, I'm healthy. It wasn't a blood sugar thing. It wasn't a cholesterol thing. And so I talked to my psych doctor, and she gave me this Alzheimer's test, which was kind of neat, but she's like, I'm pretty sure it's not Alzheimer's. I don't have any family history of early onset Alzheimer's. There is some family history of regular Alzheimer's, but none of early onset Alzheimer's. So so the doctor's like, of course, family history starts somewhere, so maybe, but I honestly don't think it is. And honestly, I don't either, but, some of the symptoms fit, including, oddly enough, something I didn't realize was a part of that, which was failing depth perception. So I got new glasses. The new glasses didn't fix the depth perception problem, but again, like I said, we're pretty sure that's not it. I keep insisting that it's just stress, and most of that is just a defense mechanism, because stress can cause all sorts of brain problems, including with bipolar folks, an intensifying of their symptoms. I'm bipolar, the one with mania, the one that presents with both depression and mania. I forget which one it is, type 2, type 1, I don't remember, and I keep forgetting, but I'm that one, because sometimes I have mostly depression. Like, I'll go long swaths of time of just being completely depressed, and then I'll hit this huge spike of mania, and it's exciting. And with stress, you can see heightened problems with that. Your moods will fluctuate far more often, and with me, I started seeing things again, which is not a good thing. Including I thought I was going to get hit by cars that weren't there, and thought I almost ran over an animal that wasn't there. So, fun things. And then auditory hallucinations got worse. Kept hearing a chiming noise in the house. I thought it was my brother playing with his game, but then turns out it wasn't. Thought it was a toy that my daughter had a long time ago, but we donated that, so it wasn't that anymore. So looked everywhere, and once I realized that it was a hallucination, it suddenly stopped. So I'm like, okay, that's good. At least I cleared that one up. But that's why I'm thinking it is mostly just stress. But I also believe that I am very much saying this to myself as a comforting thing. Like, if it's stress, I can handle it. And I may end up looking at going on more medication to handle it. And I was talking, like, I went off medication, but I said to myself that if it ever gets to the point where I start to become imbalanced, to the point where I can't control it or I don't realize that it's going bad, is I will look for medication. I will look into medication. And I even talked to my psych about that, and she's like, cool, we can work with you, but we want to make sure that there's nothing actually wrong with your brain first. So that leads me to what the doctor thinks is most likely, which is specifically seizures. Petite seizures. So small that I don't even notice they happen. And that could be damaging parts of my brain. And I'm like, I don't think they're happening, but if I don't notice them, then how am I supposed to know if they're happening? And I think that's why she asked me if I've been losing time. And if I have been losing time, it's been so minute that I haven't noticed it. But I have been losing memories, things like why I'm going somewhere, how to get somewhere, why I'm going for a drive, stuff like that. And so that's what Monday is. Monday is we're going in to get my brain scanned. And that's going to be fun. I hope they let me keep some pictures, honestly, because that'll be cool. I might get one framed, because that'll be awesome. I know I'm weird. Shut up. I didn't want to talk about this, honestly, because, well, the reasons I listed at the beginning. I don't want people to think I'm lying for attention, and I'm not, and I don't want people to get worried if it turns out to be nothing. But at the same time, I'm scared. And when I get scared, I tend to get angry, which is kind of funny. But in this case, it's just kind of been depressing because I don't have anything to get angry at. And that leads to a bit of frustration. If you're angry but you have nothing to be angry at, then you're just frustrated. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. So I've mostly just been kind of mellow. And I've been doing my best to make sure the videos keep coming out as well as possible, and keeping my spirits up as well as I can. But I don't know for sure what's going on. And I hate that. I hate not knowing. I'm crossing my fingers, and I will keep insisting up until the moment there is proof otherwise. I keep insisting that it is just stress, because stress can be managed. I can deal with stress. If it's a tumor, I don't want that. If it's seizures, we need to find out why, and that's just going to be a longer process. But apart from that, I mostly just want to let y'all know that I'm not going to be here for the rest of the day today or Monday. I'm going to try to record in between, but I don't know how much my heart's going to be in it. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't much into the mood to record it all this week, but I did my best. I got control episodes out, and I finished editing that Uno episode from a couple weeks ago. So yeah. But anyway, again, don't worry until there's a reason to worry. I'm the worst person to give that advice, because I always worry. I'm a mess. I'm a paranoid mess with brain problems and headaches and memory issues and whatnot. On the plus side, what has this led me to do? Well, I gave up working out a while back because I got sick and I couldn't do it for a couple of weeks. And then I gave up working out because I just didn't get right back into it, which sucked. But since this has been happening, I've been working out more, going for walks, longer walks, and I'm looking at things I can work out with that are easier in a limited space, because this is a very small room, especially for a 6'2" guy who weighs almost 300 pounds. That, and I want to get a bike, an exercise bike, not an actual bike. I actually have an actual bike, but I don't want to go out. I don't like people. But apart from all that, it's led me to do that. I've been working on puzzle stuff to work out the brain a bit more, focusing more on that. And I've actually been working on my writing too, because that helps a lot. And yeah. But that's really it, I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I'm scared, but I'm okay. And I'll let y'all know when I find out what I find out. Hopefully I'll get something to tell y'all on Monday or on Tuesday, because I'll be back on Tuesday. And if I get any information, I'll come back and tell you on Tuesday. But of course, the VA is slow, so it took me 6 months to get to this point. But anyway, apart from all that, I just want to say thank you again. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with the channel. I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to next year, because last time I said that, well, we got 2020. So, I'm looking forward to things I have planned for this channel. And I'm looking forward to a bright future with this channel. And I hope that you all who have been coming along on this journey with me will stick by and see where we're going. And yeah, thank you all so much for me. Thank you all so much for the support and the continued support. Thank you for the support. And again, don't worry until there's something to worry about. And yeah. See you again on Tuesday. Good night.